Take a slow, gentle breath and let the day begin to settle behind you, like the last light fading over a quiet town street. Wherever you are in your bed, on your couch, or curled up in your favorite chair, allow yourself to arrive. Not rushing, not trying, just easing into this moment, the way a soft breeze drifts across a porch on a warm evening. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your hands relax. Let your breath fall into its natural rhythm, like small waves folding onto a peaceful shoreline. You've made it here, and that is enough. Tonight, this hour is for you. A space to rest from the weight of the day, from the noise, the responsibilities, the long list of things you still haven't finished. A space to set everything down just for now and let your mind stretch out and breathe. As you listen, imagine you're stepping out onto a quiet wooden porch overlooking a still lake. The water is dark and calm, reflecting the silver glow of the moon. The air is cool, but gentle, almost like it's welcoming you home. You can hear the soft chorus of crickets in the distance, and the faint rustling of leaves as the wind moves through the trees, slow and steady. With each breath, the atmosphere becomes a little softer, a little kinder, a little more open for you to rest in. Perhaps it's been a long day, or a long week, or even a long season of life. Your body may be tired, your mind cluttered with thoughts that refuse to settle, your emotions stretched thin from caring for everyone and everything. Out there in the world, it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once, between work and family, between plans and expectations, between the past you carry and the future you're always preparing for. But here, in this quiet hour, all of that begins to loosen. Feel your breath slow, like ripples on a lake returning to stillness. Feel the space around your heart soften, like warm light filling a room. Feel your mind begin to quiet, not by force, but by simply being offered a place to rest. Tonight's stories and teachings will drift through this calm space, gentle, timeless, and steady like lanterns floating across a peaceful river. You don't need to analyze anything. You don't need to figure anything out. Just breathe, and let each word wash over you like a soft night breeze. Imagine a small cabin nearby, its windows glowing with warm golden light. Inside, everything feels simple and soothing, a place where life slows down enough for you to hear your own heart again. The scent of cedar lingers in the air. A candle flickers on a table. The floorboards creak softly under your steps, like an old friend greeting you with familiarity and affection. This place, real or imagined, is here for you now, a sanctuary for your tired mind, a refuge from the noise of the world. Allow yourself to feel the support beneath you, the softness of your pillow or blanket, the weight of your body growing heavier as you give yourself permission to let go. Notice how your breath has already begun to deepen, how your muscles have started to loosen, how your mind is drifting more easily into quiet. You might think of the day behind you, the conversations, the deadlines, the small frustrations, the moments of joy that pass too quickly, the decisions waiting for you tomorrow. Let them all drift like fallen leaves on the surface of that still lake, carried gently by the water until they fade into the moonlit distance. In this hour, you are not required to hold anything together. You are not required to be strong or productive or perfect. You are simply invited to rest. Before we continue deeper into this night of Zen stories and gentle teachings, I want to offer you a small moment of connection. If you're enjoying this calm space, if it helps you breathe a little easier, sleep a little deeper, or feel a little more understood, I warmly invite you to subscribe, not as a favor, but because I want this place, this feeling to be something you can return to whenever life becomes heavy again. And if you feel comfortable, you can leave a simple comment. 1, if this brought you comfort. 2, if it didn't quite land for you tonight. Your voice helps guide the path forward, gently and honestly. No pressure, just an open invitation from someone who wants this to feel like a trusted corner of your life. Now, take another easy, unhurried breath. Let the quiet deepen around you. Let your thoughts slow to the pace of a drifting cloud. Let the night wrap softly around your shoulders. This moment is yours. This stillness is yours. This quiet hour is here to cradle you, gently, slowly, peacefully. As we begin our journey into the stories and teachings that follow. Story 1. The Two Monks and the Young Woman. Long ago, two monks were walking a muddy country path after a long rain, the way the roads still glisten after a storm in a small American town. The sky was grey but quiet, and the world seemed softened by the scent of wet earth and the hush that follows a downpour. As the monks reached a narrow crossing, they found a young woman stranded at the edge of a wide puddle, too deep and messy for her to pass without soaking her clothes. She looked frustrated, a little helpless, unsure of what to do next. Without a moment's hesitation, the older monk bent down, lifted the woman into his arms, and carried her gently across. He set her down, nodded, and continued walking. The younger monk followed, but his thoughts churned. His steps grew sharper, and the space between the monks filled with quiet tension. After many miles, the younger monk could no longer hold his displeasure. "We monks don't touch women," he said sharply. "Why did you carry her?" The older monk paused and looked kindly at his companion. "I set her down hours ago," he said softly. "Why are you still carrying her?" As you listen, you might feel a familiar tug, the way we sometimes carry arguments from work long after the meeting ends, or replay a moment from the day over and over, like a song stuck in our heads. Consider how much weight we hold inside without noticing. Take a slow breath now. Imagine setting something down, a worry, a regret, a conversation that's still echoing in your mind. Let your body soften. Let your breath lengthen. Picture laying down a heavy bag at the side of a forest trail and simply walking on without it. As you breathe, feel the night growing gentler around you. Feel the space inside you widening, ready for rest. Let this moment be enough. Let sleep come closer, like a soft blanket of quiet, settling around your shoulders. Story 2. The Overflowing Teacup. There was once a learned professor who visited a humble Zen teacher to understand the meaning of peace. The teacher welcomed him into a small wooden room that felt as simple and warm as a country cabin on a winter night. They sat across from each other on tatami mats as a kettle whistled softly, filling the room with steam and comfort. The professor began speaking immediately, listing books he had read, theories he studied, philosophies he had mastered. His words filled the air like rushing water from a broken pipe. The teacher nodded gently but said nothing. When the tea was ready, he poured into the professor's cup. The tea rose to the brim, then spilled over, dripping onto the table, pooling on the floor. "Stop! It's overflowing," the professor cried. The teacher smiled. "Like this cup," he said softly, "your mind is full. How can you learn or rest unless you empty it first?" You may notice how your own mind fills through the day: deadlines, messages, decisions, the noise of the modern world collecting inside you until your thoughts spill over at night, making sleep feel distant. Consider this moment as your slow emptying. Let the extra thoughts drain from your mind like warm tea trickling away. Let your muscles release, your jaw soften, your breath drift into deeper, slower rhythms. Imagine an empty cup inside your chest, spacious and open. With every breath, you clear a little more room. With every exhale, the day fades like steam cooling in the evening air. Rest closer, drift nearer. Let quiet fill the space where worry once lived. Story 3. The Farmer's Luck. There was a farmer in a small village who owned one old horse. One day, the horse ran away. The neighbors gathered and sighed. "How unfortunate." The farmer simply shrugged. "Maybe so," he said. "Maybe not." A week later, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild companions from the hills. "How fortunate," the neighbors cheered. The farmer only said, "Maybe so, maybe not." Soon after, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses. He fell and broke his leg. The neighbors shook their heads. "How unfortunate." Again, the farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not." Soon, the army came through the village, taking all able-bodied young men to war. The farmer's son was left behind because of his broken leg. The neighbors whispered, "How fortunate," and the farmer simply breathed, "Maybe so, maybe not." Life unfolds like this, unpredictable, shifting like the weather on a long drive home. You might feel your own mind grasping for certainty, wishing things were more stable, more clear. Yet tonight, consider loosening your grip. Let the story remind you that not everything needs to be labeled, solved, or controlled before you rest. Take a slow breath. Feel the rhythm of maybe so, maybe not. Drift through your chest like a tide. Let yourself lie back a little deeper into your pillow. Allow uncertainty to soften, just for now. Feel sleep approaching like a warm porch light, glowing at the end of a long day. Story 4. The Buddha and the Angry Man. One afternoon, a man approached the Buddha with anger burning in his chest. Much like the frustration we sometimes carry after a hard day at work. He shouted, insulted, accused, trying to provoke a reaction. The Buddha simply listened, steady as a mountain. When the man finally paused, breathless, the Buddha looked at him with calm eyes and said, "If someone gives you a gift and you do not accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man blinked. "It remains with the one who offered it," he said. The Buddha nodded gently. "Then, I do not accept your anger. Consider how often you pick up anger that isn't yours. A rude driver, a tense email, an unfair comment, the heavy tone of someone else's bad day. Imagine letting those things fall to the ground like unopened packages. Take a slow breath and feel your shoulders drop. You don't need to hold what was never meant for you. Let the warmth of your blanket wrap around you like kindness. Feel the night cooling your thoughts, steadying your heartbeat. With each breath, let go of one small irritation from the day until your mind becomes quiet, patient, open. Let sleep approach like a soft river current, guiding you gently downstream. Story 5. The Broken Cup. A Zen master once held up a simple drinking cup and said, "I consider this cup already broken." The students were puzzled. "The cup was perfectly fine, because I know it will break someday," he continued. "I can enjoy it fully now." Think of how we grip the things we love, people, moments, routines, afraid of losing them. But tonight, let this teaching ease the tightness around your heart. Consider that knowing moments are fragile can make them sweeter. Feel the softness of your pillow, the quiet of your room, the gentle rise and fall of your breath. These are small treasures, made precious because they don't last forever. Breathe slowly. Imagine holding a delicate cup in your hands, then setting it down with gratitude. Release tension from your chest, from your stomach, from the corners of your eyes. Let impermanence soften your grip on the day, and allow sleep to settle in like warm sunlight fading into dusk. Story 6. The Heavy Stone. Two friends were walking along a forest trail when they came upon a large stone in the middle of the path. One groaned, pushing against it, complaining loudly. The other simply stepped around it. "Aren't you going to move it?" the first asked. The second smiled. "If I don't need to, why carry the struggle?" Think of the small frustrations you wrestled with today, the email that annoyed you, the chore left undone, the conversation that didn't go as planned. Some burdens can be set down simply by choosing not to fight them. Breathe deeply now. Let the stone in your chest become lighter. Picture yourself walking around an obstacle, feeling the breeze on your face, the trees standing tall, the night welcoming you. Let sleep come closer with each step. Story 7. The Horse Story. A horse once galloped into a village, wild and unridden. A man jumped on, and the horse raced away so fast the villagers could barely see them. "Where is he going?" someone asked. Another replied, "Ask the horse." Sometimes we are carried by our habits, our hurry, our automatic reactions rushing without seeing where we're headed. Tonight, notice your breath slowing. Notice your mind stepping off the galloping horse. Feel your body sinking into stillness. Each inhale becomes gentle. Each exhale becomes longer. Let the wild momentum of the day fade until you are still enough to hear the night's quiet. Rest is waiting, soft and close by. Story 8. Letting go of the rope. A student once clung tightly to a rope above a deep river, afraid to fall. The master called from the shore, "Let go, and the water will hold you." The student shook with fear, gripping harder. Finally, exhausted, they released the rope, and the river carried them gently, safely to shore. Perhaps you've been gripping something today: fear, tension, overthinking. Tonight, imagine loosening your hands. Let your fingers uncurl. Let your breath deepen. Feel yourself being carried, supported, held safely by this quiet night. Let the river of sleep come and lift you. Story 9. The lute string. A musician asked the Buddha how to calm his restless mind. "How do you tune your lute?" the Buddha asked. "Not too tight, not too loose," the musician replied. "Exactly." The Buddha smiled. "You might feel the tightness of your day still humming inside you. Expectations wound too tight, or motivation gone slack. Tonight, find the middle way. Adjust your breath, slow and easy. Relax your jaw, your back, your belly. Let yourself settle into that gentle, perfect tension of rest, relaxed but present, drifting but aware. Let sleep vibrate through you like a soft note fading into silence." Story 10. The Buddha and the Storm. During a violent storm, monks ran for shelter. The Buddha sat quietly under a tree, unmoved. Someone asked, "Why aren't you afraid?" The Buddha answered, "Because the storm is outside, not inside. Tonight, let the outer world, the news, the stress, the noise remain outside your heart. Breathe slowly. Imagine closing a window gently, letting the storm stay beyond the glass. Feel warmth fill your chest. Feel heaviness settle in your limbs. Feel the night become calm around you. Let the inner sky clear. Let thoughts drift away like clouds. Let sleep arrive like a long-awaited sunrise, slow and soft and sure." Story 11. The Empty Boat. Late one evening, a monk was rowing across a wide, quiet lake. The water was still, dark as ink under the moon. The monk loved these crossings, the calm rhythm of the oar, the cool air brushing his face, the quiet that made the world feel soft and manageable again. But halfway across, another boat drifted silently toward him. Before he could maneuver away, it struck the side of his boat with a loud thud. The monk felt anger rise instantly, sharp, hot, sudden, the way irritation jumps into us late at night when we're already worn thin. He shouted, ready to scold the careless rower, but when he leaned forward, he saw the boat was empty. The anger vanished as quickly as it arrived. Many years later, he taught his students, when someone bumps into your life with harshness, treat them like the empty boat. So much of what collides with us is nothing personal at all. As you listen, you might feel echoes of your day, someone's tone, someone's impatience, someone's hurry brushing into your life. Consider the possibility that many of those boats were empty. People lost in their own storms, their own fatigue. Take a slow breath and let your body loosen. Another breath, even slower. Let your mind release the collisions of the day. Imagine drifting gently on a moonlit lake, your boat gliding without effort. The water holds you. The night protects you. Let your breath move like oars, dipping calmly into water. Rhythm steady, quiet, soothing. Let sleep drift closer, like an empty boat gliding softly through the dark. Story 12. The moon cannot be stolen. A burglar once broke into the hut of the Zen master Ryokan. The hut was nearly empty, nothing but a mat, a bowl, and a thin blanket. The thief panicked, searching desperately for something worth stealing. At that moment, Ryokan returned. Instead of anger, he greeted the man with a warm smile. "You have come a long way," he said softly. "You should not leave empty-handed. Please, take my blanket." The thief fled, confused and ashamed. That night, Ryokan sat in his empty hut, wrapped only in moonlight. Looking out at the night sky, he whispered, "If only I could give him this beautiful moon." Consider this, how much we cling to things. We think we need status, approval, control, the perfect version of our day. But tonight, you can set all of that aside. You can sit quietly with the simple, gentle moon of your own breath. Notice it rising, falling, rising, falling. Let your muscles unlock. Let your thoughts slow to the pace of moonlight moving across a quiet room. Let yourself rest in what cannot be stolen, your breath, your presence, this moment of stillness offered just for you. Let sleep wrap around you as tenderly as moonlight on a quiet hillside. Story 13. The Raft. The Buddha once told a story about a traveler who reached a fast, dangerous river. The water roared wildly, impossible to cross. So the traveler built a raft from branches and vines. With patience and effort, he paddled across and reached the far bank safely. The Buddha then asked his listeners, should the traveler carry the raft on his back for the rest of his journey? The answer was obvious, of course not. Yet we often carry habits, beliefs, and worries long after they've served their purpose. Like the traveler, we hold on to old rafts even when we've already crossed to safety. Perhaps today you clung to something you no longer need, an old resentment, a fear, a pattern that exhausts you. Tonight, imagine setting down the raft. Picture laying a bundle of branches on the riverbank and feeling your body lighten, your mind unclench. Take a full, slow breath and release. Feel the weight drop from your shoulders. Imagine walking forward without burden, the night air cool and quiet around you, guiding you toward ease. Let your breath become lazy, unhurried. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on the river. Sleep is coming steady, gentle, like water, smoothing the stones beneath it. Story 14. The Buddha and the Arrow. A man once asked the Buddha, "Why is life so difficult? Why do hardships strike us?" The Buddha replied with a simple image. When an arrow hits you, that is the first arrow. But when you say, "Why me? This is unfair," you shoot yourself with a second arrow. We all know this, feeling the way stress multiplies when we replay it, analyze it, criticize ourselves for not handling things better. Tonight, you can let the second arrow fall from your hands. Take a slow breath and feel the tightness in your chest soften. Another breath. Feel your thoughts lose their sharp edges. Imagine taking an arrow out of the air before it reaches you, setting it gently on the ground. You don't need to carry today's frustrations into the night. Let them settle. Let your body grow heavier, more grounded, more ready for rest. Let sleep come like a soft meadow rising up to hold you. Story 15. The Gates of Heaven and Hell. A gruff samurai once asked a Zen master, "Is there really heaven and hell?" The master looked him over and said, "A brute like you could never understand." The samurai's face flushed with fury. He reached for his sword. "That," said the master calmly, "is hell." The samurai froze. His anger melted into humility. He bowed deeply. "And that," the master whispered, "is heaven." Consider how your own inner world shifts, how quickly tension can rise, how quickly softness can return. Tonight, feel the door of your inner heaven open with every slow breath. Let your muscles sink into your mattress. Let warmth gather in your chest. Let your jaw loosen. Imagine standing before two gates, one of tension, one of peace, and stepping gently toward the quieter path. Let sleep welcome you like a warm lantern glowing in a dark room. Story 16. The Sound of One Hand. A young monk once asked his master, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" The master didn't answer. He simply led the monk into the forest at dusk. Birds were settling, leaves were rustling, and the last colors of sunset faded like breath on a mirror. "Listen," the master said. The monk strained to hear some mystical sound, but all he heard was the vastness of silence, textured with small, gentle noises of the world. Slowly, he understood the answer wasn't in a sound, but in the kind of listening that opens the heart. Tonight, let yourself listen this way, to the quiet in your room, to your breath, to the soft hum of your body preparing for rest. You might notice a sense of spaciousness opening inside you, like a forest clearing in moonlight. Let yourself sink into it. Let the night cradle you in its soft arms. Drift a little. Then, a little more. Story 17. The Stonecutter. There was once a stonecutter who longed to be powerful. One day, he wished to become a wealthy merchant, and he became one. Then he wished to become a king, and he became that too. But each time, he found something greater: the sun, the clouds, the wind. When he became the wind, he was finally free until he struck a mountain that would not move. So he wished to become the mountain. But then he felt a tiny tap, tap, tap. A stonecutter was carving away at him, and he realized the circle had brought him back to himself. You might feel something similar the way we chase accomplishment, control, strength, wishing to be more. Tonight, consider the possibility that who you are, right now, is enough. Let your breath deepen. Let your heart unclench. Let the searching inside you grow quiet. Imagine standing tall like a mountain under the night sky, steady and unmoving, while sleep drifts toward you like a cool breeze. Story 18. The Bamboo Teachers. A Zen teacher once pointed to a grove of bamboo swaying in the wind. "Notice," he said, "how the tallest stalks bend the most, and because they bend, they do not break. Think of the pressures you carried today: work deadlines, caregiving, decisions waiting for you tomorrow. You bent and adjusted, even when it was exhausting. Tonight, let yourself sway gently instead of standing stiff. Take a breath as slow as winter rain. Feel your spine soften, your shoulders melt. Imagine yourself as a bamboo stalk, in a soft night wind, flexible, peaceful, at ease. Let the wind of sleep move through you, guiding you into deeper rest. Story 19. The Stone in the Road. A traveler once kept stumbling on a single stone in his path, day after day. Angry, he kicked it, cursed it, tripped over it again. Finally, exhausted, he knelt down and moved it aside. The path instantly opened. Sometimes the smallest unresolved thing weighs the most: a message you haven't answered, a chore you avoided, a conversation you dreaded. Tonight, without effort, imagine gently moving that stone aside in your mind. Give yourself permission to let it wait for tomorrow. Feel the path inside you clear. Feel the spaciousness return. Breathe long, slow breaths. Let your mind drift like mist lifting from a morning field. Sleep is close, warm, familiar. Story 20. The Lantern in the Dark. A blind man carried a lantern at night so others could see him coming and avoid bumping into him. One evening, someone collided with him anyway. "Why didn't you see my lantern?" the blind man asked. The stranger replied softly, "Your lantern has gone out." Sometimes we move through the world, unaware that our inner light has dimmed, run down by fatigue, stress, worry. Tonight, imagine relighting that lantern inside you. Feel a small warmth glow behind your ribs. Each breath brightens it. Each exhale softens you. The night grows gentler around you. Let that warm lantern guide you deeper into rest, illuminating a path not through effort, but through ease, until sleep gathers you into its gentle arms. Story 21. There is an old Zen tale, often shared in quiet retreat centers across America, especially in the soft evenings when people begin settling into their sleeping bags or simple cabins. It is the story of the bamboo cutter, an ordinary man living a simple life, who spent his days tending a humble grove. Each morning he would rise before the sun, stepping carefully on the cool soil, listening to the soft rustling of the leaves. He believed the bamboo taught him everything he needed to know about how to move through life: tall, hollow, flexible, rooted, bending when the winds grew strong. One year, a fierce storm swept across the land. The wind howled through the trees, shaking houses and snapping branches. Many people feared their gardens would be destroyed. But in the morning, as the storm finally passed, the bamboo stood unharmed, swaying gently, almost as if bowing to the world. Everything rigid had broken, everything soft had survived. When travelers asked the bamboo cutter how he protected his grove, he only smiled. "I did not protect it," he would say. "I learned from it." The bamboo survives because it bends. The secret is to bow before life breaks you. This teaching has been passed down through American Zen communities for decades. Thich Nhat Hanh spoke of bamboo in storms, and John Kabat-Zinn often encouraged students to be like flexible reeds in the marsh. And now, as you listen, perhaps you notice a bit of truth settling in your own heart. Maybe you feel the weight of the day, the deadlines, the conversations, the small frustrations that seemed so important a few hours ago. They tighten the body, make the mind rigid. But here, in this gentle moment, you might consider what it means to bend instead of resist. You don't have to fix everything tonight. You don't have to stand firm against every gust of life. You can soften. You can allow yourself to sway. Take a slow breath, deeper than the last, letting your shoulders drop just a little. Imagine yourself as a tall bamboo stalk on a quiet hillside. Imagine a breeze moving through you, loosening what has tightened. As you exhale, picture that tension flowing downward into the soil beneath your feet. Feel how the bamboo is hollow inside, open, spacious, room for the wind to pass through. Perhaps you, too, have more space inside than you realized. Space to rest, space to breathe, space to let go of what presses too hard. Let yourself sway inwardly, gently, without effort. As sleep approaches, imagine the storm passing. Imagine the sky clearing. Imagine yourself standing in calmness, soft and unbroken, rooted and at peace. And with each slow breath, let yourself drift, bend, soften, until finally the night carries you into deep, restful sleep. Story 22. There is a beloved teaching told in many American Buddhist groups, sometimes called the lantern at the door. It echoes old Zen stories, yet fits beautifully into modern life, especially for anyone who comes home late after a long, tiring day. There was once a monk who traveled from village to village, offering small pieces of wisdom to anyone who needed comfort. He carried only one object, a simple lantern made of paper and thin wood. At night, he would light it, and the soft glow would guide him along the winding paths. One evening, in a village where people often stayed up late sharing stories by the fire, an elderly man approached the monk. "Teacher," he said gently, "I notice you always light your lantern when darkness falls. But I am old now. My eyesight is poor. When you visit me, I cannot see your face, only the glow of your lantern. Why do you carry it when the road is familiar to you?" The monk smiled and lifted the lantern closer. "I carry it," he said softly, "not for myself. I carry it so others may see me coming." This simple teaching traveled far past along by Jack Cornfield, echoed in retreats, written in journals kept by people who were learning how to move through the world with gentleness. You might sense what it means already. So many of us live our days carrying burdens no one else sees. Grocery lists, deadlines, worries about children, private regrets we tuck away. Yet we forget that sometimes just our presence, a small kindness, a patient breath, a gentle tone is a lantern for others. And perhaps tonight, after a long day, the idea of carrying a lantern for others might feel heavy. But consider this. The lantern is not effort. The lantern is simply you. When you soften, when you are kind to yourself first, your calmness becomes light for others, and your relaxed breath invites them to relax too. Take a slow breath now. Let the inhale rise lightly, like a flame. Let the exhale settle downward, soft and warm. Imagine holding a simple lantern in your hands, a warm, steady glow. It doesn't need to shine brightly, just enough to soften the darkness around you. Feel how warm it is. Feel how steady you become as you hold it. Perhaps you're standing on the porch of your own home, or at a quiet trailhead at dusk. The lantern lights only a few steps ahead, just enough. And that is all you need. One step illuminated, then another. Let your breath match that gentle light. Soft, rhythmic, unhurried. With each breath, let the lantern grow warmer, not brighter. Let the warmth spill through your arms, your chest, your back. Let it soften tight muscles, Melt the tension that clings to the jaw or settles in the stomach. When you're ready, let the lantern settle at your feet. Let its glow surround you like a small circle of peace. And inside that circle, you can rest. Nothing to carry, nothing to fix. Only a warm, steady light guiding you towards sleep. Let yourself drift there, softly, slowly, into the quiet night. Story 23. A well-loved American retelling of a Zen parable speaks of the floating leaf. Perhaps you've heard a version of it. Teachers like Pema Chodron and Sharon Salzberg often share it when discussing how we cling too tightly to life's currents. Long ago, a young monk lived near a wide, calm river. He loved watching the water flow, how it reflected the sky, how it carried fallen leaves gently toward the horizon. But one autumn day, he noticed a single leaf caught in a small whirlpool near the riverbank. It spun and spun, circling endlessly in the same place. The monk felt frustrated for the leaf. If only it would stop resisting, he thought. If only it would relax, the current would guide it free. The next morning he returned, and the leaf was gone. It had finally softened into the flow. The monk sat by the river for a long time. Reflecting, he realized he, too, had been circling in his life, clinging to past mistakes, worrying about the future, holding tension in his chest as if bracing for a storm that didn't exist. This story traveled far beyond the old monasteries. Americans who heard it began using the phrase, floating like the leaf, as a reminder. When we release the tightness, life carries us forward more gently. Tonight, perhaps you feel like that leaf caught in a whirlpool, looping through thoughts, replaying conversations, circling worries that refuse to settle. And maybe, as you listen, you notice your mind doing exactly that, circling back, again and again. But consider this: a leaf doesn't escape the whirlpool by trying harder. It escapes by softening. Take a slow inhale, and as you exhale, imagine that whirlpool loosening its grip. Imagine the current widening around you. Feel yourself drifting a little more freely. Picture a river under moonlight, cool, quiet, silver on the surface. Imagine placing yourself upon that river, carried gently, weightlessly, effortlessly. You don't need to paddle. You don't need to think. The water holds you. Let your breath match the rhythm of the river, long, gentle, gliding breaths. Each inhale, a soft ripple. Each exhale, a long, smooth flow. As you drift, imagine the whirlpool falling behind you. Thoughts soften, worries loosen. The river widens and grows calm. Let yourself float now, quietly, peacefully, drifting into sleep as though carried by a gentle current into the softest part of the night. Story 24. There is a Zen parable, known in many mindfulness circles as the empty boat. Jon Kabat-Zinn often referenced it when teaching stress reduction, and it's become a comforting story for countless people navigating busy, overwhelming lives. The story tells of a man rowing across a lake on a foggy morning. The world was quiet and still, and the man enjoyed the cool air brushing his face. But suddenly, thud, another boat drifted into his. Irritated, the man shouted, "Watch where you're going." His anger surged quickly, like a match struck in the dark. But as the fog shifted, he saw the truth. The boat was empty. No one had been steering it at all. The anger drained out of him as quickly as it had risen. There was nothing to blame. American teachers often say, every boat is an empty boat, meaning so much of what bumps into us in life isn't personal. People snap because they're tired. Someone forgets to reply because they're overwhelmed. A stranger is rude because they're hurting. The boat is empty. The crash isn't about you. Perhaps you felt a few collisions today, sharp words, small disappointments, someone cutting you off on the road, a co-worker's impatience, a loved one's distracted tone, and maybe those moments tightened your chest or made your thoughts quicken. But as you listen now, consider this gentle truth. The boat is empty, not because people don't matter, but because their actions say more about their storms than about your worth. Let the tension unwind. You don't need to carry the collisions of the day into sleep. Breathe deeply. Inhale slow and full. Exhale long and soft. Imagine yourself on a still lake. At dusk, fog drifting, the surface smooth as glass. Your small boat moves easily with each slow breath you take. Another empty boat drifts nearby, touching yours, and you feel no irritation now, only a quiet understanding. Let your breath soften. Let the lake widen. Let the fog wrap gently around you like a blanket. Feel yourself settling deeper, thoughts becoming quieter, the world softening into stillness. Let yourself drift, weightless, floating on the water, until sleep carries you gently into the night. Story 25. There is a teaching often shared in evening meditation halls, especially in America, where people work long days and arrive at night carrying invisible worry. It is the story of the traveling monk and the pebble. A young monk wandered through forests and villages, searching for awakening. He believed enlightenment was something enormous, like lightning striking the heart or a fire blazing suddenly in the mind. So he walked with intense effort, thinking constantly, analyzing, striving. One day he met an elderly teacher resting under a tree. The young monk asked how long it would take to become enlightened. The elder smiled and handed him a single pebble. When this pebble becomes heavy, you will know you are far from awakening. When it becomes light, you will be close. The monk was confused. The pebble weighed almost nothing, yet as he traveled, the elder's words echoed in his mind. On days when he was stressed or anxious, the pebble felt oddly heavier in his pocket, a burden. On days when he relaxed, breathed slowly, and stopped trying so hard, it felt weightless. Years later, the monk returned to the elder. "I understand now," he said softly. "It was never the pebble that changed. It was me." This story has been retold many times to American listeners who struggle with pressure. Pressure to achieve, to be good, to be productive, to solve everything before bedtime. Maybe you feel some of that tonight. The pebble in your pocket. The day's tension might feel heavier than it needs to be. Take a gentle breath. Feel your chest rise softly, and let your exhale dissolve a little of that heaviness. Imagine holding a small, smooth pebble in your hand. Feel its cool surface. Feel its tiny weight. Notice how it becomes lighter when you soften your grip. Lighter still when you breathe slowly. Lighter when you stop striving for anything at all. Perhaps you sense your own mind loosening, like a knot finally relaxing. Let yourself place the pebble beside you. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Let the day's weight drift away, becoming lighter and lighter, until sleep carries you gently into peaceful stillness. Story 26. There is a classic Zen saying often shared in American mindfulness groups. Eat your rice, wash your bowl. It tells of a young monk who approached his teacher with the question that troubles many of us. What is the essence of practice? What is enlightenment? The teacher did not lecture. He did not quote scriptures. He simply said, "Have you eaten your rice?" "Yes," the monk replied. "Then wash your bowl." People have retold this story for decades because of its simple wisdom. The next step is always the step right in front of you. You don't have to solve life all at once. You don't have to untangle the whole future. You just take the next small, clear step. Tonight, as you wind down, maybe your mind is trying to jump ahead, thinking about tomorrow's tasks, next week's worries, things unfinished, things you wish you'd done differently. But consider the teaching. Eat your rice, wash your bowl, do what's in front of you. And right now, the only thing in front of you is rest. Take a slow breath. Feel your body soften. Let your shoulders release a little more. Imagine you're in a quiet kitchen at night. A single warm light. A simple meal finished. The bowl in your hands is warm, smooth, ordinary. You wash it slowly, mindfully, with no rush, no pressure. The warm water soothes your hands. The gentle motion calms your mind. Then you set the bowl down. The day is complete. There is nothing left to do. Let the simplicity wrap around you. Let your thoughts follow the rhythm of your breath, slow, steady, easy. As your breathing deepens, imagine that quiet kitchen fading into soft darkness. Imagine yourself settling deeper into rest, as if the world has finally paused. Let your breath become the only task. Let sleep be the next step, and allow yourself to drift into it, gently, naturally, peacefully. Story 27. Another much-loved tale, often shared by teachers like Sharon Salzberg, is the story of the bowl of water. A student came to a Zen master in great distress. Her mind was filled with constant thoughts, swirling so rapidly she could barely sleep. "I want peace," she said. "Please help me calm my mind." The master filled a bowl with water and stirred it vigorously. The surface churned and splashed. "This is your mind," he said. Then he set the bowl down. Slowly, very slowly, the water began to settle. "You see," he whispered, "when you stop stirring, the water becomes clear." This simple story has guided many Americans learning meditation. The mind settles not through force, but through stillness, through allowing rather than pushing. Perhaps tonight your thoughts feel stirred, worries about family, work deadlines, memories from long ago, things you wish had gone differently. The mind wants to churn, but notice, as you listen, the stirring begins to slow. Take a soft breath in and let a long breath out. Feel the bowl inside you becoming still. Imagine placing that bowl on a wooden table in a quiet room. Moonlight through a window, the water reflecting a soft glow. At first, ripples move across the surface, but as you breathe, the ripples fade. The surface grows smooth, clear, peaceful. Feel your own thoughts settling in the same way, not by force, but by allowing. Let whatever arises drift gently downward, like silt settling to the bottom. Your breath becomes slower, your body becomes heavier, your mind becomes clearer, quieter. Let the bowl's stillness become your stillness. Let the calm spread through your chest, your shoulders, your face, and when you feel ready, drift into that quiet place, the place where the water is clear, the night is soft, and sleep carries you gently into deep rest. Story 28. There is a warm, comforting story often told in American Zen circles, the gift you cannot give away. A monk once approached his teacher with frustration. "People keep misunderstanding me," he said. "No matter how kind I try to be, someone finds fault. I feel as though my efforts are wasted." The teacher listened quietly. Then he picked up a beautifully wrapped gift and handed it to the monk. The monk did not take it. He simply stood there, confused. After a moment, the teacher said, "If you refuse a gift, to whom does the gift belong?" The monk answered softly, "It stays with the one who offered it." The teacher nodded. So it is, with anger, blame, and misunderstanding. When you do not accept them, they remain with the one who offers them. This story has a special place in American Buddhist teachings because so many people carry the weight of others' judgments. Perhaps today someone was short with you, or someone misunderstood your intentions, or you felt judged for something small. These moments linger, especially at night when the mind is tired. But consider the gift you do not accept. You can let the misunderstanding stay where it came from. You don't have to carry it to bed. Take a gentle breath, maybe the easiest one you've taken all day. Imagine someone handing you a wrapped box, not anger now, but simply a symbol. Imagine yourself smiling softly and choosing not to take it. It remains in their hands, no longer yours to manage. Feel the freedom of that choice. Feel your chest lighten. Feel the space around your heart expand. Let your breath become slow and warm. Let your body sink deeper into comfort. Imagine lying beneath a soft blanket, safe and untouched by the world's misunderstandings. Let every inhale bring calm. Let every exhale release what was never meant for you. Drift gently into rest. Light, unburdened, soft as moonlight. Story 29. There is a Zen parable shared widely in American mindfulness communities, sometimes called the long road and the shortcut. A student walked many miles to meet a teacher known for wisdom. When he finally arrived, exhausted and dusty, he asked, "Master, How do I reach enlightenment quickly? The teacher pointed to a long, winding road, disappearing into the hills. Follow that path, he said. The student hesitated. Isn't there a shorter way? The teacher smiled and pointed to the same road. This is the shorter way. People love this story because it reminds us that rushing only makes the journey longer. When we hurry to relax, relaxation slips away. When we try to force sleep, sleep retreats. Tonight, maybe part of you is hoping for quick rest, a shortcut to peace, but consider that the gentlest path is often the slow one, the soft, winding one, the one that allows you to walk at your own pace. Take a deep breath and let it fall away slowly. Feel your body easing, step by step. Imagine walking along that quiet road at dusk, the air cool, the sky streaked with soft colors. You're in no hurry. Each step is simple, soft, gentle. The gravel crunches lightly beneath your feet. Your breath moves in rhythm with your steps, slow and steady. Along the roadside, tall grasses sway in the breeze. Fireflies glow in the dimming light. The world feels peaceful, unhurried. Feel your mind walking that path. Feel the pace slowing. Feel the body relaxing with each imagined step. The road stretches gently forward, not demanding anything, simply inviting you to rest. And with each breath, you drift deeper, softer, nearer to sleep. Let the long road carry you, step by slow step, into the quiet warmth of night. Story 30. One of the most cherished Zen teachings shared by Thich Nhat Hanh and many American teachers is the story of breathing as your home. A monk once told his teacher, "I feel lost. No matter where I go, I feel like I'm searching for something I cannot name." The teacher placed a hand over the monk's heart and said, "Your home is here. Each breath is a doorway. When you breathe with awareness, you have already arrived." This teaching became deeply meaningful for Americans living busy lives, people who travel, relocate, change jobs, juggle responsibilities, and feel the constant pull of somewhere else. The breath becomes a home that never leaves. Tonight, perhaps you feel a bit untethered, pulled by responsibilities, swirling thoughts, the sense that you should be doing more or solving more. But as you listen now, consider the gentle truth. You have already arrived. You are already home. Place your awareness gently on your breath, not forcing, just noticing. Inhale, like opening a door. Exhale, like settling into a soft room. Imagine your breath as a warm cabin on a quiet winter night. A small fire glows inside. The windows shimmer with gentle light. When you breathe in, you open the door and feel warmth surrounding you. When you breathe out, you settle deeper into that safe, quiet space. Your worries wait outside. Your responsibilities wait outside. Inside, there is only peace, warmth, stillness. Imagine sinking into a soft chair by the fire. Feel the heat on your skin. Hear the gentle crackling of the wood. Let your breath match that soft rhythm. With each inhale, feel warmth rising through your chest. With each exhale, feel the body sinking deeper, settling, resting. Let the breath be your home now, steady, warm, unhurried. Let it hold you like a gentle embrace. And as your breath becomes softer, slower, quieter, let yourself drift into sleep, warm, safe, and deeply at peace. Story 31. There is a well-known Zen parable, often retold in American Buddhist circles, especially in quiet evening classes. The story of the golden wind. It is said that a monk once asked his teacher, "What is the heart of Zen?" The teacher simply replied, "The golden wind." People puzzled over that phrase for generations, but American teachers began explaining it in simple, comforting ways. The golden wind is the moment when you finally let go, the moment when the mind softens, the heart opens, and you feel held by something gentle and unseen, like a warm autumn breeze passing through tall grass. Imagine a man who spent his whole life trying to hold everything together: his work, his family, his worries, his past mistakes. He carried them like stones in a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. One evening, exhausted, He wandered into a forest trail near his home and collapsed onto a fallen log. The wind rustled through the trees, brushing his cheek softly. For the first time in years, he let himself breathe. The golden wind had come. He didn't understand it. He didn't name it. But something in him loosened. The bag of stones felt lighter, and for a few minutes, he simply existed, without effort. Perhaps tonight, after your own long day, you can sense a similar moment arriving, a soft breeze of relief moving through your body as you settle into rest. Take a slow breath, gentle, easy. Let the exhale drift out like wind through dry leaves. Imagine the golden wind moving around you, warm, quiet, soothing. It touches your shoulders, loosening tightness. It brushes your forehead, easing the thoughts gathered there. With each breath, it carries away one small worry, then another, until the weight you've been carrying all day begins to dissolve. The golden wind does not rush. It does not push. It simply holds you. Let yourself lean into it, gently, slowly. Let it wrap around you like a blanket of warm air. As the wind grows softer, let your breath become slower, smoother. Feel your body sinking into comfort, every limb growing heavier, your mind quieter. And when the wind finally settles into stillness, follow it into deep, peaceful sleep. Story 32. There is a story cherished by many American Zen practitioners, a tale sometimes called The Last Cup of Tea. A traveler visited a wise teacher at the end of a difficult year in his life. He felt worn down, pulled in too many directions. "I am overwhelmed," he said. "My mind is full. My heart is tired. What should I do?" The teacher poured tea into a small cup. When the cup filled, he kept pouring. Tea spilled over the sides, pooling onto the table. The traveler panicked. "Stop. The cup is full." The teacher set the teapot down and said softly, "Yes, your mind is the same." Americans love this story because it describes something so familiar, the feeling of being mentally overfilled, overflowing with thoughts, responsibilities, expectations. You cannot add peace to a mind already spilling over. Tonight, maybe you feel like that traveler filled steadily throughout the day until there's no space left. Take a gentle breath and let the cup begin to empty. Imagine sitting at a kitchen table late at night. A soft lamp glows overhead. The cup in front of you is full of the day's noise and worry. With every exhale, imagine pouring a little out, just a little at first, then more and more. With each breath, the cup grows lighter. With each breath, you create just a little more room inside yourself. Room for rest, room for peace, room for sleep. You might notice the shoulders softening, the jaw loosening, the mind unwinding. When the cup is finally empty, place it gently down. Let your breath settle. Let your body sink into stillness. And with nothing left to hold, allow sleep to pour softly into you. Warm, quiet, steady, filling you in the way tea never could. Story 33. A favorite parable in American Buddhism tells of the bell and the mountain. It is said that long ago, a monastery kept a bell that rang only when struck with complete presence. If the striker was distracted or tense, the bell would stay silent. Many tried to ring it. Few succeeded. One young student approached the bell each evening after a long day of work. His shoulders ached, his mind spun, his breath felt uneven. Each night the bell remained silent. One evening, overwhelmed and discouraged, he sat down beside the bell and simply breathed. No goal, no effort, just breathing. After a long, quiet while, he rose and tapped the bell gently. A clear, beautiful tone filled the valley. That sound, soft, resonant, lingering, has become a symbol in American mindfulness groups. A reminder that clarity comes not from force, but from presence, from slowing down, from letting the mind settle like calm water. Perhaps tonight, your own inner bell feels silent, blocked by thoughts, tension, fatigue. But consider this. You do not need to ring the bell. You only need to breathe beside it. Take a gentle breath in, long, slow, warm. Let your exhale fall away softly, Imagine sitting at the foot of a quiet mountain. A large bronze bell stands nearby. The air is cool, still. The valley stretches out before you. With each breath, the mountain steadies you. With each exhale, the bell inside you becomes clearer, lighter, more open. Imagine placing a hand on the bell. Feel its cool surface. Feel your own pulse slowing as you touch it. There is no need to strike it. The resonance is already inside you, a quiet tone, humming softly, guiding you toward rest. Let that tone vibrate through your chest, through your arms, through your whole body. Let it lull you towards sleep, slow, steady, peaceful, as the mountain night deepens around you. Story 34. There is an old Zen lesson often told in American meditation retreats. The brush and the breath. A calligraphy master taught students to paint one simple circle, the enso, each morning. But there was a rule. If their breath was rushed or uneven, the circle would not be true. They weren't painting ink. They were painting their breath. One exhausted student struggled day after day. His circles were shaky, uneven. He grew frustrated. "My hand won't steady," he complained. The master shook his head gently. "Your hand is fine," he said. "It is your breathing that needs kindness." Americans embrace this story because it spoke to something deeply relatable. How often we try to control the outer world while neglecting the inner one. Tonight, perhaps you too feel that slight tremble inside, the subtle restlessness that lingers after a long day. Take a slow inhale, soft, steady. Let the exhale release like ink spreading smoothly on paper. Imagine holding a simple brush. A blank sheet of paper rests before you. You do not need to paint anything perfect. You simply breathe. And with each breath, a circle forms in your mind, smooth, gentle, effortless. Inhale, the brush rises. Exhale, the circle closes. Feel your breath painting softness across your body, along your shoulders, your chest, down your arms, through your legs. Let the inhale widen you. Let the exhale round everything back into comfort. Your breath becomes art. Your stillness becomes ink. Let the final stroke settle into blankness. Let the brush fall from your hand. Let your body drift into rest. And as the circle completes itself, allow sleep to wrap around you like a soft stroke of nighttime ink. Story 35. There is a beloved story called The Salt in the Cup, shared often in American mindfulness classes. A distressed student came to his teacher, overwhelmed by the troubles in his life. The teacher gave him a handful of salt and asked him to dissolve it in a small cup of water. The student did so and tasted the water. It was unbearably bitter. Then the teacher led him to a wide lake. "Now pour the same salt here," he said. The student did. When he tasted the water, it was fresh and clean. "The amount of salt is the same," the teacher said gently. "But the size of the container is different. When life feels bitter, the problem is not the salt, but the smallness of the vessel." This story resonates deeply in America, where people often feel that their lives shrink under pressure, narrowed by stress, tightened by obligations, confined by the pace of daily living. Perhaps tonight your world feels small, crowded by thoughts and deadlines, leaving little room to breathe. Take a slow, deep breath in, and imagine widening inside. Take a long, soft breath out, releasing what you've been holding. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, calm lake at dusk. The water stretches far beyond sight. You hold the same salt, your worries, your regrets, your tiredness, and you let it fall into the lake. It dissolves instantly, leaving the water unchanged. Feel your inner lake widening. Feel the bitterness of the day diluting into something gentle. With each breath, the lake grows broader. With each exhale, the salt grows smaller. Let that spaciousness settle into your chest, your back, your belly. Feel your whole being widening, softening, opening to peace. Let the vastness cradle you. Let it rock you gently towards sleep. Story 36. There is a classic Zen tale, often called The Slow Horse, told in American Zen communities as a lesson in patience. A monastery kept several horses for travel and work. One of them was slow, gentle, kind, but easily tired. The young monks mocked it, preferring the stronger, faster horses. One day the teacher asked a student to deliver an urgent message to a neighboring village. All the strong horses were exhausted from previous journeys. Only the slow horse was rested. Reluctantly, the student climbed onto its back. The horse walked at its usual pace, steady, calm, unhurried. But as the student breathed with the rhythm of the horse's steps, he felt himself relaxing. The tightness in his chest eased. His mind cleared. When he arrived, he realized something surprising. The slow horse had brought him exactly what he needed. American teachers use this story to remind people that life's slow moments, the pauses, the evenings, the gentler rhythms often give us more peace than the fast ones. Tonight, perhaps you are riding your own slow horse, tired, moving gently, unable to rush. But consider that this is the perfect pace for rest. Take a slow breath, matching the gentle steps of the horse. Feel the exhale like a saddle settling into softness. Imagine riding through a quiet field at dusk, fireflies rising slowly from the grass. The horse carries you with a calm, steady rhythm. Nothing hurried, nothing forced. Your body rocks gently with each step. Your breath follows. Step, inhale, step, exhale. Let the rhythm lull you. Let the mind loosen. Let the night deepen around you. The slow horse knows the way. You only need to rest against its steady pace. Drifting, rocking, into sleep. Story 37. There is a story known across American Buddhist retreats, the door that was never locked. A young man spent years banging on a heavy wooden door, believing enlightenment lay on the other side. He pushed, pulled, shouted, prayed. Nothing moved. One day, exhausted, he leaned his forehead against it and sighed. The door quietly swung open. It had never been locked. He had only been pushing in the wrong way. Teachers like Jack Cornfield tell this story to remind us that peace is not something we force open. Often, it appears when we stop trying so hard. Perhaps tonight, as you settle into bed, you still feel yourself pushing towards solutions, answers, accomplishments. But notice what happens when you stop pushing. Take a long inhale and let a gentle, complete exhale soften your whole body. Imagine standing before that wooden door. Feel its smooth surface. Notice the coolness of the wood under your fingertips. You are tired, ready to stop trying. When you breathe out, the door opens effortlessly. Inside is a quiet room, lit by soft candlelight, a warm mat on the floor, a low table. Nothing complicated, nothing overwhelming, just a space of rest. Step inside, sit down, let the door close gently behind you. This is the room of your own quiet mind, always available, always open, never locked. You reach it not by effort, but by softening. Let your breath guide you deeper into that quiet. Let your body sink into the room's warmth. Let your thoughts dissolve like shadows fading in candlelight. And slowly, gently, drift into sleep. Story 38. There is a parable cherished by American meditation teachers, known as the second arrow. The Buddha taught that when something painful happens, it is like being struck by an arrow. But then we add our own story. Regret, fear, self-judgment, and that is the second arrow. The wound deepens not because of the event, but because of the thoughts that follow. American teachers often share this with people overwhelmed by stress. The first arrow may be the long day. The second arrow is the mind replaying it again and again. Perhaps you felt a first arrow today, something small, something frustrating, and maybe the second arrow followed the thoughts that lingered long after the moment passed. Consider this. You can remove the second arrow tonight. Inhale slowly, exhale deeply, releasing the extra pain you don't need to carry. Imagine holding two arrows in your hands. One is real today's difficulty. The other is smoke, the spinning thoughts that followed. As you exhale, the smoky arrow dissolves completely. Feel the relief in your chest. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the tension easing. Now place the real arrow gently on the ground. It no longer pierces you. It simply rests there, harmless. Let your breath grow slower. Let your thoughts drift like smoke in cool night air. Let the wounds of the day soften, then fade. As your body sinks deeper, imagine lying down in a quiet field under a dark sky dotted with stars. The night holds you. The air soothes you. Drift there, free of arrows, free of weight, into peaceful sleep. Story 39. A comforting story in many American Zen centers is called The Sweet Potato Teacher. A monk once complained that his meditation was unproductive. "Nothing changes," he said. "I sit and sit, but make no progress." The teacher, stirring a pot of sweet potatoes over a small fire, handed him one. "Is it cooked?" The monk bit into it. Hard, raw, unpleasant. The teacher smiled, put it back into the pot. They waited. The fire crackled softly. Steam rose in gentle swirls. Time passed slowly, quietly. When the monk tried again, the sweet potato was soft, warm, tender. "Do you see?" the teacher said. "The fire works in its own time. You just stay near the warmth." This story resonates strongly with Americans who feel impatient with meditation, with healing, with life itself. Tonight, maybe you feel tired of waiting for your mind to calm, for your body to relax, for sleep to arrive. But consider the sweet potato. Consider the quiet fire. Consider the warmth working gently without your effort. Take a soft breath in. Let a warm exhale drift outward. Imagine sitting beside a small campfire at night. A pot simmers slowly. The fire glows warm and orange. The air is cool, but the warmth reaches you. You don't need to do anything. Just stay near the warmth. Your breath becomes the fire. Your body becomes the sweet potato, softening gradually. Feel the warmth spreading belly, chest, shoulders, face. Feel yourself becoming tender, soft, ready to rest. Stay near the warmth. Let it work in its own perfect time, and let yourself drift into gentle, effortless sleep. Story 40. There is a beloved Zen story widely shared in American retreats. The moon in the well. A monk walked through a village late at night when he came upon a deep well. As he looked inside, he saw the full moon shimmering on the water. It appeared trapped at the bottom, flickering, unreachable. Anxious, he cried out, "How can the moon be trapped? How can I rescue it?" A passing elder laughed softly. "Look up," she whispered. The monk lifted his eyes and saw the real moon glowing freely in the sky. The one in the well was only a reflection. This teaching reached countless American listeners struggling with illusions, fears that seem real, worries that appear urgent, thoughts that look solid but dissolve when examined gently. Tonight, perhaps your mind holds a few reflections, imagined troubles, exaggerated fears, shadows that look like substance. But consider the elder's guidance. Look up, take a slow breath, lift your awareness gently. Let the exhale soften the illusions. Imagine standing at that well. The reflection trembles on the water's surface, but above you, the real moon shines steady, whole, bright. You place a hand over your heart. You breathe softly. You see clearly. The reflection fades. Only calmness remains. Let that moonlight spill over you, cool, serene, silver. Let it ease your forehead. Let it cool the day's heat. Let it quiet the mind. Your breath becomes moonlight. Your body becomes still water. Your thoughts become soft ripples fading in the night. As you breathe in, feel the moon's calm, descending gently. As you breathe out, let the reflection dissolve completely. And now, bathed in cool silver light, let yourself drift deeper, softer, into a peaceful, moonlit sleep. Story 41. On a quiet hillside temple, where the wind hummed gently through old wooden beams, a young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, what is the essence of compassion?" The elder didn't respond with words. Instead, he placed a small, chipped clay bowl into the young monk's hands. The bowl was warm from the sun, worn from years of use, humble and unremarkable. The master simply said, Hold it as if it were the whole world. The young monk stood there, unsure, but he cupped the bowl gently. Birdsong drifted across the courtyard. The scent of pine needles warmed by the afternoon light filled the air, and the elder said softly, "When your heart learns to hold this fragile bowl with such care, you will know how to hold yourself and everyone you meet." The monk noticed how the bowl trembled slightly in his hands when he breathed. He noticed the warmth of it against his skin, the slight roughness along its rim, the echo of something ancient and tender, and something inside him softened. Consider this for a moment. You, too, carry things that feel delicate. Your hopes, your weariness, your memories of the day. Perhaps you've been holding them with tightness, or maybe you've been holding too much alone. Tonight, as you listen, allow the idea of the clay bowl to settle in your mind. A simple bowl, warm, imperfect, easy to overlook, yet precious, because it is yours to care for, just like your body, just like your breath, just like your heart. You might notice a gentle loosening in your shoulders as you inhale slowly, and exhale like you're putting something heavy down beside you. Imagine now the elder monk placing that warm bowl into your hands. Feel how naturally your fingers curl around it. Feel how the world quiets just a bit when you give your attention to something so simple. Let your breath come slow, soft, steady, as if each inhale is a warm light rising through you, and each exhale is a small release, a small forgiveness, a small letting go. Let your mind rest like that bowl resting in your palm, steady, safe, held with kindness. And as your nighttime settles in, let the gentle warmth of compassion for yourself, for this day, for your tiredness cradle you softly. Let your breath rock you into rest, and let sleep arrive like a quiet visitor, unhurried, peaceful, welcomed. Story 42. There was once an old carpenter living in a small mountain town, a man known for crafting doors that never creaked and tables that never wobbled. People said he could hear the grain of the wood speaking to him. When asked how he became so skilled, he always smiled and said, "I listen to what is already there." One evening, a younger carpenter came to him, frustrated. "No matter how hard I try," the young man said, "I can't make things perfect. I sand, and still something feels off." The old carpenter looked at him kindly and led him outside. A warm dusk breeze rustled through the tall grass. The sky glowed the soft orange of a fading summer day. "Do you hear that?" the elder asked. The younger listened. "Just the wind," he said. "Exactly," the master replied. "The wind doesn't try to be perfect. It just moves, and in moving, it shapes the world." They stood together in the soft evening light, and the young carpenter felt something inside him unclench. He realized he had been working against himself, forcing, trying, comparing. The elder's words drifted through him like that warm breeze. Let go of perfection. Lean into the natural grain of things. Maybe today you felt that same pressure to do everything right, to keep everything together, to perform without flaw. It's a heavy weight to carry, but for this moment, this small, quiet moment, you can set that weight down. Take a slow breath in and let it go gently, as if you're releasing the need to be perfect. Even just for tonight, picture yourself in that mountain town, standing beside the old carpenter. Feel the evening air cool your skin, the scent of fresh cut wood lingering in the breeze. The world softens around you. You don't have to try so hard now. You don't have to fix every rough edge before you sleep. You just breathe and let things be. The way the wind moves through tall grass without effort or expectation. Let that soft wind pass through your chest, loosening tight places. Let the day fall away like sawdust off your shoulders and drift, slowly, into the easy rest of someone who is enough, exactly as they are. Story 43. A traveling monk once found refuge in a quiet field beside a small country road. The night was cool, and fireflies shimmered in the tall summer grass. He lay beneath an old oak tree, its branches spreading above him like a gentle umbrella shaped by time. A farmer passing by stopped and asked, "Aren't you afraid to sleep alone out here?" The monk smiled, eyes soft. "When I sleep beneath the stars," he said, "I am never alone. The night sky keeps me company. The earth holds me, and the wind tells me stories older than fear." The farmer laughed, shaking his head. "I suppose that's one way to see it." But as he walked away, he felt something shift, a small easing in his chest, like a forgotten breath returning. Consider the monk's words as you settle more deeply into your evening. You may be indoors, surrounded by walls and familiar things, yet you are still held by the same world that cradled him. The same sky arches above you, whether you can see it or not. The same earth supports you, steady and quiet. The same whisper of life moves through every breath you take. Sometimes, when the day has been long, we forget that we're part of something broader, something peaceful by nature. Tonight, you can let yourself lean into that, just a little. Breathe softly, then softer still, as if the night itself were breathing with you. Imagine lying beneath that oak tree. Feel the cool grass under you, the gentle hum of insects, the soft glow of fireflies pulsing like tiny lanterns. The world feels wide, yet comforting, still, yet alive. Let that spaciousness open inside you. Let your thoughts drift like slow-moving clouds across a deep summer sky. You are not alone, not tonight, not in this moment. Let the night hold you, the way it held the traveling monk with quiet understanding and endless patience. Let your breath grow long, smooth, and easy, and slip into the soft darkness of sleep, like a leaf settling onto still water. Story 44. In a peaceful valley surrounded by pine-covered mountains, there lived a Zen gardener renowned for her tranquil spirit. People traveled far just to walk through the gardens she tended, winding paths, quiet ponds, stones placed so thoughtfully that the whole landscape felt like a whisper. One day, a visitor asked her, "How do you keep everything so calm and beautiful?" The gardener knelt beside a small stream, scooping cool water with her hands. "It isn't me," she said gently. "The garden knows how to be peaceful. I simply get out of its way." The visitor didn't understand. He wanted steps, a method, a secret. But the gardener only smiled and ran her fingers through the water, watching the ripples fade. "See," she whispered, "even the water returns to stillness, once nothing disturbs it." Perhaps today your thoughts have been like that stream, stirred, shaken, not quite settling. You may have replayed conversations, anticipated tomorrow's tasks, carried old worries like stones in your pockets. But right now, you're in your own nighttime garden. The paths are quiet, the air is cool, and no one needs anything from you. Take a slow, fluid breath and let it drift out like water smoothing over a pebble. Imagine walking through that garden, hearing only the soft crunch of gravel under your feet. A lantern glows softly nearby. A breeze rustles through bamboo, creating a gentle, rhythmic whisper. With every step, your thoughts grow quieter, not forced, just settling naturally, the way the water did. Let your breath become calm and shallow. Let your mind follow it into stillness. Let your body soften, like earth after a gentle rain. And as you settle into this quiet night, allow the garden's peace to seep into you slowly, easily, until sleep gently folds over you like soft petals closing at dusk. Story 45. A student once asked a wandering Zen sage why he carried no map on his long journeys. The sage laughed softly and touched his chest. "My map is right here," he said. "My feet go where the ground welcomes them." The student frowned. "But what if you get lost?" The sage looked out toward a winding dirt road glowing in the late afternoon sun. "Lost," he said. "If I am breathing, I am home." This puzzled the student for years, until one evening he found himself walking alone after a long, tiring week. The moon rose over the treetops, washing the path in silver light. The scent of pine carried gently on the cool air, and suddenly he felt an unexpected calm, a sense that wherever he walked, he was supported. That moment became his quiet turning point. Perhaps you've had days recently where everything felt uncertain, where decisions weighed on you, where you weren't sure which path was yours, or where you longed for direction, clarity, or a sign. But for now, in this gentle nighttime moment, you don't need to figure anything out. Take a slow breath, letting it deepen softly, and release it like a sigh of relief. Imagine walking that moonlit path. The road curves gently, quiet and familiar. Your footsteps are steady, and the earth meets them with kindness. Feel how the night embraces you, how the air cools your skin, how the world feels wide and patient. Each breath becomes a soft lantern, guiding you inward. You don't need a map right now. You don't need to know tomorrow's answer. You just breathe and let the path unfold. Let that feeling of home rise from inside, not a place, but a calm presence. Let it settle in your chest. Let it soothe the tired places within you. And as the night deepens, let your inner compass quiet to a gentle glow, guiding you not toward decisions, but toward rest, toward stillness, toward the easy drifting of sleep. Story 46. There was once an elderly monk who loved sweeping the temple courtyard at dawn. Every morning, without fail, he would glide the broom across the stones, leaving soft paths of clean surface behind him. A younger monk asked one morning, "Why do you sweep every day, even when it looks clean?" The old monk smiled, "Because sweeping clears the dust from my heart." He continued, gently guiding the broom, each stroke steady and unhurried. Sunlight slowly spilled across the courtyard, illuminating his movements with a warm, golden glow. The younger monk watched the slow rhythm and felt a surprising wave of ease wash over him, as if the simple repetition dissolved something tight in his chest. Maybe today your own inner courtyard has collected dust, stray thoughts, lingering worries, unfinished conversations, the residue of a busy life. Tonight, you can sweep, not with a broom, but with your breath. Take a long, easy inhale and a slow, smoothing exhale. Again, softer this time, as if each breath were clearing a little dust from your mind. Imagine yourself in that quiet courtyard. The morning air is cool. Birdsong lifts gently into the sky. The broom moves in a slow arc, brushing away little piles of yesterday. Feel that same rhythm settling into your nervous system. Feel your body loosening, your mind settling, your breath steadying. You don't have to sweep everything clean tonight, just enough to find peace, just enough to rest. Let the strokes of your breath become slower, quieter, more tender. Let your thoughts drift like dust carried off by a light breeze, and let sleep gather around you softly, like dawn light rising over the stones. Story 47. In a small lakeside village, people often noticed an elderly fisherman sitting at the end of the pier long after sunset. He didn't always fish. Sometimes he simply dipped his toes in the water and hummed a tune older than memory. One night a villager asked, "Why do you sit here in the dark?" The fisherman looked out across the moonlit water. "The lake teaches me," he murmured. "At night it becomes still enough to reflect the sky." The villager sat beside him for a while, watching the gentle ripples smooth themselves out. Slowly, the stars appeared upon the surface, soft, trembling reflections. The fisherman whispered, "When the water is busy, the sky disappears. When it rests, the whole universe returns." Consider how your own inner lake may have rippled today. Thoughts bouncing, emotions stirring, responsibilities tugging you from place to place. But now, you're here. Your night has begun, and stillness is ready to return. Breathe in softly, and breathe out even softer. Imagine sitting with the fisherman at the end of that quiet pier. The wood beneath you is worn smooth by years of use. The water glows faintly with moonlight, and the world feels calm, open, unhurried. Each gentle breath settles the ripples inside you. Little by little, the surface smooths, and as it does, your own inner stars begin to appear, quiet insights, forgotten calm, the simple relief of nothing to do. Let that lake inside you become still. Let the reflections deepen. Let your body grow heavy and warm. And when you're ready, allow yourself to slip into sleep, the way moonlight slips into water softly, silently, without effort. Story 48. A young man once approached a meditation teacher with frustration in his voice. "Every time I try to meditate," he said, "my mind wanders. I can't stop it." The teacher smiled understandingly and handed him a small jar filled with snow. "Hold this," she said. He watched as the snow quickly melted into water. Tiny bubbles clung to the glass, then drifted upward. "See," the teacher whispered. "The snow isn't wrong for melting. The water isn't wrong for moving." The young man felt something loosen within him, a long-held expectation dissolving like ice in warm hands. Perhaps your own mind has been stirring tonight, drifting to tomorrow, replaying today, wandering down familiar pathways. That's all right. Nothing is wrong. Nothing needs fixing. Take a soft breath in and exhale like warm air across the surface of that melting snow. Imagine sitting in that quiet room with the teacher. The jar in your hands becomes lighter as the snow transforms. The water becomes still, and you begin to feel still too. Let your thoughts melt naturally. Let your breath warm the cold, tight places inside you. Let yourself soften. You don't need perfect stillness to rest. You just need willingness. You just need softness. You just need this moment. Let your breath grow slow, warm, gentle. Let your mind drift the way melting snow turns to water quietly, without effort. And let sleep rise within you like warmth filling a once cold room. Story 49. A hermit lived in a tiny cabin, overlooking an autumn forest. Each evening, he would sit on the front step with a cup of warm tea, watching leaves drift down like gentle, colorful snow. A traveler passing by asked, "Why do you spend so much time just watching the leaves fall?" The hermit chuckled warmly. "Because each leaf falls only once, and if I watch closely, I fall a little more gently myself." The traveler didn't fully understand, but he felt something peaceful in the way the hermit breathed, slow, effortless, steady. Maybe your day has been full of things, falling plans, shifting, energy dropping, emotions changing shape. Tonight, you can let things fall softly. You can let the day release itself from your shoulders. Take a warm, deep breath and let it go the way an autumn leaf lets go of its branch lightly, naturally. Imagine yourself sitting beside the hermit on that wooden step. A mug warms your hands. The scent of tea mingles with crisp autumn air. Amber and gold leaves swirl around you in slow spirals. With every leaf that drops, you feel yourself unwind. With every breath, you feel your weight settling into the earth. Nothing rushes. Nothing presses. Everything falls in its own time. Let your breath drift like falling leaves. Let your thoughts loosen. Let your body soften into the night. And let sleep come the way autumn arrives quietly, gently, inevitably. Story 50. In an old, quiet monastery by the sea, there was a bell that rang only once each evening. Its tone was deep, warm, and lingering, a single note that drifted across the water like a soft embrace. A novice asked the abbot one night, "Why do we ring the bell only once?" The abbot gazed at the darkening horizon. "Because one clear note is enough to bring the mind home." That night, as the bell echoed through the stone halls, the novice closed his eyes and felt a stillness he had never known. It was as if the sound had gathered all his scattered thoughts and placed them gently back into his chest. Maybe your mind, too, has scattered today, pulled in many directions, stretched thin, worn by tasks and conversations and quiet stresses. But tonight, one clear breath is enough. Take that breath now, slowly in and softly out. Imagine sitting by the ocean as the bell rings. The sky is a deep blue. Waves roll in with a quiet rhythm. The bell's warm tone glides across the water, reaching you like a familiar hand on your shoulder. Feel how everything in you begins to gather, settle, return. You don't need to chase thoughts or silence them. You only need to listen inwardly, the way the monastery listens for that one evening chime. Let your breath become the bell, slow, deep, resonant. Let your body grow still as the ocean at night. Let the day sink behind you like the sun slipping below the horizon, and allow sleep to rise within you gently, like the soft tide returning to shore, steady and certain. Just rest now. Just rest. The stories of this hour, the gentle teachings, the breaths you followed like small lanterns in the dark, they are slowly settling inside you, like snow drifting to the earth on a quiet winter night. You don't have to hold anything anymore. Not the thoughts that tried to pull you in different directions. Not the memories that used to tighten your chest. Not the worries that waited for you at the edge of every day. Here, in this soft, moonlit space, you are allowed to let go. Feel your breath drifting in and drifting out, like a slow tide washing over the shore. All evening, you've walked through stories shaped like rivers and mountains, candles and sky. Stories that whispered reminders of who you really are beneath all the noise. Not by preaching, not by pushing, just by opening a quiet door inside you, a door you may have forgotten was there. Now, with the hour coming to a close, that door stays open, and on the other side, nothing but peace. Take a slow breath, a gentle breath, the kind a child might take falling asleep in the back seat of a car on a long drive home. Safe, carried, protected by the night. Let your shoulders soften. Let the back of your neck loosen. Let your jaw release its quiet grip on the day. You've done enough. More than enough. The world can rest without you for a while. Imagine now, somewhere far behind your eyes, a candle glowing with the softest golden light. Its flame barely moves. Steady, warm, patient. This candle has guided you through ancient temples, through quiet forest paths, through moments of doubt and moments of clarity. You don't have to watch it anymore. It watches over you. You may picture the river too, the one that appeared again and again in tonight's journey, sometimes rushing, sometimes calm, sometimes shallow, sometimes deep, but always moving, always finding its way. Feel yourself like that now, simple, unforced, carried by something larger than thought. And perhaps you remember the ocean, its slow breathing matching your own, the way the moon painted a silver path on its surface, as if inviting you to walk across it, into a quiet world where nothing is expected of you. Let that silver path appear now, just behind your closed eyes, a soft glow stretching out into eternity. No hurry, no destination, just the sense of being held by something ancient, something gentle. Your breath moves in, and the glow brightens. Your breath moves out, and everything softens again. In, like a wave touching the shore. Out, like a wave returning home. Feel your hands growing warm, your feet growing heavy, your mind growing light, like a feather drifting through the night air. Nothing to figure out. Nothing to remember. The stories have settled. The hour has completed its circle, and you are ready to drift. If any last thought rises up, let it rise like a cloud crossing the open sky. Slow, harmless, disappearing into the blue. The sky doesn't cling to any cloud, and you don't need to cling to any thought. Let everything float away now. You might imagine the moon again, high above a sleeping town, casting its calm over rooftops, over quiet streets, over porches where the rocking chairs sit unmoving in the cool night. The whole world resting, the whole world breathing, and you, a part of that stillness, a part of that peace. Let your breath grow softer now, as soft as a whisper, as soft as the hush of autumn leaves falling across a backyard lawn. You've given yourself this hour of care, this hour of gentleness, this hour where the world asked nothing of you. And now, as you drift towards sleep, know that you are carried forward by everything wise and kind inside you. The same wisdom reflected in rivers, in oceans, in candles, in moonlight, in every quiet teaching told tonight. Feel the heaviness in your limbs. Feel your body sinking into the bed. Feel your breath becoming so soft, you no longer notice where it begins or where it ends. Here, in this quiet place, you are allowed to simply be, and being is enough. Let yourself drift, now, like a leaf on a slow-moving river, gently spinning, gently floating, gently becoming one with the water beneath it. No effort, no sound, only rest, only peace. Let the night gather you in its arms. Let the darkness cover you like a warm blanket. Let the silence hold you in a deep, healing embrace. You are safe. You are whole. You are home. Now, sleep. Good night.